Apparently, the only thing you need to assemble this enclosure is this, a screwdriver. And in this video, we're going to show you exactly how that's possible. We're first going to unbox it, then we're going to assemble it, and once we assemble it, we're going to install it. And once we install it, we're going to pump some sound through it. Look at what I found at Walmart. This is a 1 1/4 cubic foot subwoofer box, 50 bucks. But it's just not any subwoofer box. This is a subwoofer box kit. Hey, I had to get this thing off the shelf and see, how much does it actually weigh? And as you guys can see there, it got a little weight to it. So my wheels got to turning here. Knowing me, that's right, I got 2 of them. I think this is going to make a fun project. This subwoofer enclosure is by Scosche. This is the SE12KT, and this is the Walmart special of this. It's constructed out of 5/8 MDF, and it measures around 16 by 17 by 20 inches. Getting this out of the box is pretty easy. As you guys can see, you have what is considered a flat pack in the world of subwoofer enclosures. Right there you have your compliant sticker, and yeah, it has gray carpet on it, and you also can notice that some of the pieces have numbers written on them. A little bit more about that later on. But for right now, we have the instruction manual that is surprisingly detailed for something that looks so simple to put together, but I guess for the novice, you would want those details. Right now, you're looking at the front. The front is connected to the top by the carpet that is already pre-installed. As you guys can also tell, it does have a bit of rubber gaskets there. They have screws for assembly, and it also gives you screws to mount a subwoofer to this enclosure, which is pretty cool that they included that. This is the bottom and the back piece. Also note once again that there is a bit of tape in the seams here, and that you also have these 2 pieces connected by carpet. The back piece also have the terminal cup connected to it. These are the wires. You do see that they are spade connectors. You get 2 wires, look like they're about 12 gauge, and there's a terminal cup on the back. It's screwed and glued into the back. All right, so apparently there's a specific order in which you're supposed to lay these pieces out. If you guys can look at it, you have the terminal cup here and the piece that it connects to, which is the bottom. Then you have the baffle, and of course the baffle connects to the top. So these 2 here are connected. The back with the terminal plate and the bottom are connected. The left and right walls are separate. They're the only ones that are separate. But to keep this thing very, very simple, what they have done is label them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See that number 1 on the left wall? It has 1, 3, 8, and 5. These are supposed to line up with one another. And that's what keeps it very, very simple, like on the right wall. You see that? Keeps it very, very simple for you. Also, look at this. They have these little indentions on the bottom. You see this? That hole is bigger than this hole. This looked like a screw hole, but this right here actually fits into this little guy right here. You see that? That's a piece of plastic or something, a little plastic dowel sticking out of there. And it's gonna ensure that it holds right here. I'm guessing that to make it dummy proof, no other piece probably would fit there but this one. So ease of installation already to me is a no-brainer. Also something to pay attention to is these pieces don't use glue, they use adhesive tape. You see that? That's foam adhesive tape that they use here. Like, I mean, if you don't have to have any skills here to put this thing together. I mean, I'm already liking this. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. As an installer and someone who do this a lot, build boxes from scratch, this right here to me is genius, because how many people in the market don't know how to do this? So for Scosche to come with a product like this, it fills a void in the industry for the everyday person that just want to walk in the store. No shipping, you don't have to wait on any of that. Just walk in the store, grab this, and you're on your way. But anyway, let's get this assembled. So the next step will be to peel all the adhesive strips off, because you're going to be putting this thing together. And of course, that's very simple to do. Just take the tape and do that for all of them. It's only 3, it's from what I can see now. Oh, got our first fail here. Let's look at this. I thought we had a first fail, but it wasn't. They just, I don't think whoever put this together, whether they're doing it with a machine or by hand, it just wasn't pressed down. So once you press it down, it's, you know, it sticks. It's just fine. Now just keep in mind that the adhesive tape seems to only be within these seams right here. See these 45s? They seem to be the only ones with the adhesive tape. Right here is another foam material, maybe rubber. But that's not double-sided sticky tape like the other stuff. This right here is a rubber gasket, and I'm guessing it's supposed to ensure some type of seal when these walls become involved. So let's see what the instructions say, and we're gonna, oh yeah, it's another piece of, I missed this one. Another piece of foam tape. I'm just making sure that it's pressed. And that's it. Why is that so satisfying? All right, so the next step would be the walls. So you have right and left, right? So basically the carpet side is supposed to be facing outward, and you just line them up. It almost stands on its own, but not quite. Not quite. So I'm gonna need 2 hands to do this. All right, so we know there's an adhesive strip up top. We know that. There's one in that corner that we just folded as well, and that seam here, we know that. So now we're gonna do the front. We're gonna do these front pieces. We're gonna put it on along with the top, and then we're gonna put some screws in it. So that's the next step. All right, so there it is, man. I mean, that's less than, I mean, without me filming and everything, right? That would have been less than 5 minutes. I'm gonna say 10 minutes. It's less than 10 minutes and you got a box. You know, I still gotta do screws and stuff too, so we can calculate that, but I'm thinking 30 minutes tops. You should have this thing at least assembled, if not assembled and loaded, you know? But looking at the top, we can see some pre-drilled holes here. Very, very convenient. We can see that, and it's right now is nothing holding it together but adhesive. But once you put the screws in there, the rubber gasket, and the fact that they use double-sided foam tape, see that? The screw holes are already there for you. How easy is that? Easy peasy, man. The whole thing just slides together. That is so cool. I think that is a cool product. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the screws in it. All right, so as you guys can tell, the screws are in there, but I'm gonna give you a little pattern I see going on here. In the rear, you have 5 total screws, 2 here, 1 here, and 2 over here as well. In the top, you have 4, 2 on each side. And then in the front, you also have 4, 2 here and 2 there. The bottom has 5. Just wanted you guys to know that. The question I'm debating is which one to put in first. I think this guy kind of pulls everything together, right? Because the bottom and back is connected, then the top and the front is connected. So I think if I just get these two sandwiched, it'll make everything else easier until I get around to the front. But you can see the adhesive isn't strong enough just yet, but it will create a seal once I'm done. But anyway, he's gonna go first. All right, so let's give this thing a quick once over. Now, in the corners where you had those pre-carpeted seams where they fold onto each other, those 45-degree angles, they look pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, this is where the adhesive was at in these little grooves right here. That looks pretty good. But on the seams where they meet, you got two seams like this, one up here, and then you got one down there. You can tell that is, you know, that can probably use a couple more screws. But for what it's worth, man, this gets you up and running right here. I ain't knocking it. I think it's pretty cool, man. For some middle school kid, high school kids trying to get into car audio, this is a gem. They don't got a lot of money, they don't got a lot of skills just yet. This is a gem for them. I think this is who this is marketed for. People who don't have that skill set and don't have the time or the patience maybe to wait on shipping from another company. They just want to walk in the store real quick, get something out the door. And that's what this is. All right, no bracing, no none of that. It's just a box. And it gets you up and running, man. I'm gonna go ahead and give it the knock test. Yep, sounds like 5.8 MDF. That's what that is. It's just a thin little piece of wood. Ain't gonna hold nothing too heavy. So why would you put that in there? I don't think that's for them people. That's for this is for the beginner or the novice or someone who don't even want a whole lot of bass. They just want a little bass. So straight out of Walmart, the only thing that will wrap this up and make this perfect is getting a Walmart subwoofer. So that's what we're gonna do next. Oh yeah, before we do that, I wanted to point out something else about the box. It was pre-tapped with all kind of pilot holes for all the other screws that are for assembly. You've seen that for yourself. But what is not pre-tapped are the mounting holes for the subwoofer, because different subwoofers have different distances on whatever their mounting holes may be. So they left that alone. That's a smooth virgin wall right there, baffle. So you have to drill your own screw holes and all that stuff. So I just wanted to point that out before we move on. Today I'll be taking you guys to Walmart and introducing you guys to one of my favorite subs they have over there, the Power Acoustic GW124. The majority of subwoofers unboxed on this channel usually come in a plain brown box. Well, that's not the case for anything you buy off the shelf. As you can see from the GW124, this thing has all the marketing bling that you would expect for something that's trying to catch your attention as you walk by. It has a whole lot of bright colors and a lot of information in bold print. So let's go over some of that information. The GW124 is Power Acoustic Gothic series, specifically designed for Walmart customers. If you go over to Power Acoustic's website, you will see that they actually offer a regular, I guess you could say, Gothic subwoofer, but this one is all black. It does not have the blue inserts for the screw holes, and also the dust cap is not adorned with the blue coloring. This seems to be something that you only find with the Walmart version of this subwoofer. The Black Gothic seems to be a dual 2-ohm subwoofer offered in 10-inch and 12-inch variants. And aside from the cosmetics of it, it seems that this is the same 1200 watt RMS, 2500 watt peak subwoofer. Power Acoustic is calling the Gothic subwoofer sold at Walmart its premium version of the subwoofer. And upon closer inspection, you do notice that there are a few differences in which these two subwoofers are put together. For one, the Gothic over on their website, the regular black one, actually has a different stamped steel basket from the one that's offered for Walmart customers. The one that's offered for Walmart customers actually seem to have a bit more venting available for the voice coil, cut directly into the stamped steel basket. However, there is no venting for the voice coil gap available on the magnet structure. There's only a single hole there for the pole venting. Whereas the Black Gothic on the website actually has both pole venting and venting for the voice coil gap. Aside from that, everything else is the same. 2.5-inch copper voice coil, 100% copper voice coil that is, and a 254-ounce motor structure. Power Acoustic decided to go with a high roll surround for the GW124, and this is a rubber surround, very thick rubber instead of foam that you see on a lot of other subwoofers. The rubber is a butyl rubber, and it is very, very sturdy. The cone material is actually a pressed paper cone, but it has a treated layer on top of it. This is a flax treated paper that has been dipped in a very strong adhesive. This is by far one of the toughest cones that I've seen on a subwoofer in a long time. It is very, very hard, and the flax material is woven here. For the spider assembly, it seems as though Power Acoustic chose to go with a linear roll spider aside from a progressively rolled spider. The linear roll spider is commonly seen in what you would consider a sound quality type application versus that of an SPL type application. Once again, Power Acoustic wanted this subwoofer to stand out by using a dual stitch method for the surround to the cone in that very vibrant blue that you see everywhere on this subwoofer. I guess we can start calling this hue Walmart blue. I'd like to take this time to announce the launch of my first merch store. This is budgetbasedmerch.store. When you first come here, you guys are going to be greeted with a collections. The collections actually are in 4 parts. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and cups. And further down, you will see that we also have bundles. We'll get to the bundles later on. But for right now, let's go check out the t-shirts. Over here on the t-shirt page, you will see that this is the Budget Based Classic Graphic Tee. The Budget Based merch come with 3 style of logo. You have the badge, the banner, and the circle. They come in 2 different sizes. The big badge is a centered chest piece logo. And then you have the small badge, which is an upper left chest logo. Big banner and small banner is exactly the same. Circle badge and the small circle badge as well. They come in 4 different sizes. You have medium, large, extra large, and 2X extra large. Now, notice that the 2 extra large is a $5 difference from the other ones. Medium start out at $20, and up to 2XL, you get to $25. They come in 2 different colors. The white shirts come in white with black logo, and the black shirts come, of course, black with the white logo. Moving on, we also have hoodies. this is our hoodie section. And the hoodie section logos are pretty much the same. The difference is that with the hoodies, they start out as a large, XL, and 2XL. We only have 3 different sizes for hoodies. The large is $35. The XL is $35. But the 2XL is $45. You're getting a bit more material here. We have the same style of logo, big badge, small badge is the upper left chest, just like the t-shirts. In addition to the previously mentioned logo and style of logo, we have the sleeve bannered hoodie. This is only available in the hoodies. We have no long sleeve shirts. And the sleeve bannered hoodie actually come with extra large banners along the sleeves of left and right sleeve. Starting out in the large, the prices are $50. The XLs are also $50. The 2XLs for the grand opening is going to be $60. Their regular price, $85. They come in 2 colors. The black hoodies come in black with white logos. And the white hoodies come in, of course, it's white with black logos. All right, so now let's move on to the hats. Over here in the hat section, you have the baseball style hat. And this hat comes also in 2 colors, black with white logo and white with black logo. And of course, we still have the 3 different style of logos: the badge, the banner, and the circle badge. And these caps are $10 a piece. Now let's move on to cups and mug section. The cups and mug section have 2 different sizes of mugs you can choose from: the 12 ounce and the 15 ounce. Notice that the 12 ounce mug is $10. The 15 ounce mug is $15. And they have also the same 3 budget base head logos. You have the badge, you have the circle badge, and you have the banner. Now let's talk about bundles. To save a little money, you can come and get the budget base head hoodie and cap bundle. In size large for $35, you get the hat and the hoodie. For XL, same price. 2XL, $45. And of course, that would be for the badge, circle badge, and banner. Price differences would be for the sleeve banner. Sleeve banner with cap starts out at $50 for the large, $55 for the XL, and $65 for the 2XL. Of course, they both come in black and white variants. T-shirt bundles. With the t-shirt bundles, you have a $25 price for the medium, large, extra large, and the 2XL is $30. And of course, they all come same logos and black and white variants. And that's it. Thank you guys for sitting through this. Hopefully this here will give you guys another way of being able to support the channel. You have asked for this for a long time, and here it is. Hope you guys like what you see. Thanks in advance. All right, guys, so right now we're in the garage because it's hot outside. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be lengthening these wires here. Now, remember that this thing has spade connectors on the inside, and the subwoofer that we just got from Walmart has push terminals on it. You see this? Push terminals. So we are not going to be using these spade connectors. Plus, this is only 2 connections, and this is a dual voice coil, so it has 2 sets of push terminals. So we're going to have to not only lengthen this, but we're also going to have to add a second pair of connectors here so that we can be able to wire it in parallel or series as needed. So this has to be lengthened and split. All right, so that's what we're going to do next. To do this is, you know, I'm just gonna use some spare wire that I have laying around. Any novice should be able to do this. It doesn't take a lot of skill set to do this. Just know that you're gonna need 2 individual set of wires. You see how it comes? It comes with these 2 right here, and they're connected. For those who don't know, because this is what this subwoofer box is for. It's for people who don't know this stuff. So you have these 2 wires. One of them got a stripe on it. That's the negative, typically. And the other one doesn't. And that's your positive, right? So you're going to need 2 of these. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our wire cutters. We're going to cut about that much. They give you about a foot. That's about the length of a ruler. We're gonna cut it, and we're gonna have 2 of these. I'm gonna show you that. All right, so in the end, you should be left with something like this. This is a wire, this is a wire. This wire has an end that looks like this, and the other end looks exactly the same. It's just 2 bare pieces of wire, okay? Now, a little something about the sub. This subwoofer is what you call a dual voice coil, meaning it got 2 sets of push terminals for 2 different voice coils, and they are dual 4. Each voice coil is 4 ohms apiece. We don't want that. We want a final ohm load of 2 ohms. Final ohm load of 2 ohms, so we need to run these together in parallel. If you don't know what parallel wiring is right now, just know that you need to wire the negative wire of one cable set need to go to the other, and positive need to go to positive. Positive to positive, negative to negative. Very, very simple. This is easy peasy. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna strip these wires off, because I don't need the spade connectors. I'm gonna strip these wires back and do the same thing. That positive is gonna go to the one that doesn't have a stripe, and the negative is gonna go to the one that has a stripe. So you don't want to have a stripe, those are my negatives. And that's all I'm finna do. I'm gonna show you why that's important in a minute. All right, so there you go. Positive to positive, negative to negative. So what does this do? What is the perk of doing this? Okay, now we have 2 separate ends, right? We got 2 separate wires running here. Each one of those wires have 2 ends. We already talked about that. Positive and negative. We already talked about that. Parallel wiring, what is it? Positive to positive? But before we move forward, I already know some of you more experienced guys in the comments right now, you guys are just itching to tell me, why don't you just upgrade that old flimsy little speaker terminal in there with some good wire, or just replace the whole thing? I get it, I understand that, but that's not what this is, guys. Come on now. You think that the person buying this is gonna know about upgrading terminal cups and speaker? Well, they're not gonna know all that stuff. They're not looking for that, okay? Take it for what it is. Just split the wire and make it easy on yourself and move on. And this is the end result you want right here. So there you go. Each voice coil has its own little wire, positive and negative. So negative to negative, positive to positive, coming from this negative and positive. Very simple stuff. That's parallel wiring. So now we're just gonna get this thing installed, and I'll see you guys back here in a second. One more thing I want to point out about this subwoofer install. When you're buying this thing, we talked about this before, this box doesn't have mounting holes pre-tapped for you, pre-drilled. So you're gonna have to do that yourself. Pro tip, sometimes your subwoofer hole will be bigger than the subwoofer mount. You see how I'm able to move that? It's moving about 1/8 of an inch either way, up, down, left, right, left, right, up, down. You see that? So what you want to do in this case, because there are no holes, this is a virgin baffle, what you want to do is you want to play around and try to find center up and down. For instance, if it's moving 1/8 of an inch that way, try to move it 1/16 of an inch back that way. Now you're centered. And then you got to hold that position. You can put a screw here now, and then you can play around with moving it side to side. Do the same thing. Try to find that sweet center. Then tap your holes. Just another little tip before we move on. And just for those who don't have hardware or, you know, drills and stuff to do self-tap, to do taps and all that, you know, I want to show you guys that these screws will go into the wood without tapping them. I've tapped here, here, and here. Those are 3 pilot holes, but I haven't done any of the other 5. So I'm just going to pick a virgin spot here on the board, on the baffle, and I'm just going to drive it home with a regular, you know, drill saw. You can also do this with a screwdriver. You don't really need this thing. It just speeds it along. But I just wanted to prove to you guys that it will tap into the wood. It's just that with the wood being so thin, you will get blowout on the other end, meaning it will chip out when it comes out on the other side. But hey, it is what we're working with, okay? So here goes. And just like that, it will tap. The only reason I'm using my own screws is because these are self-tapping screws. So not only am I doing a pilot hole, I'm actually using these screws right here that has this little groove in the tip of it. You see that little cutting edge? That's because it makes its own channel. It's self-tapping. All right, so the last thing to do is to put these inserts back into the subwoofer, and we'll be on our way. There she is, guys. This is the most popular subwoofer that you can walk into a Walmart and buy. A lot of people love them for good reason too. They sound pretty decent on low power. You don't need a whole lot of power, and they're cheap. Typically you can find these on Rollback for around 80 bucks, but they usually hover around the $100 range or so. A little something to get you going. Let's put this in the trunk and see what it can do. All right, so there we go. We got the 2 boxes in here. That's one terminal. That's the other one. They're connected. Positive, positive, negative to negative. Same way we did on the inside, remember? Dual 4 ohms, in parallel, 2 ohms, 2 ohms. Now they're in parallel. 1 ohm to the amplifier. Very simple. 1 ohm. The amplifier will see a 1 ohm load and put out whatever its power rating is at 1 ohm. Very simple. That's it. Got both of them in here now. Time for a demo. All right, so as you guys can see, we're in the car now. The car that we're in is a 2018 Chevy Impala, and what we're going to be doing is doing an SPL test on these 2 guys. Those are the Power Acoustic Gothic GW124s. These are the Walmart subwoofers. Inside Walmart branded, well, not Walmart branded boxes, but boxes that you also pick up at Walmart. So those are the Scosche pre-assembled boxes, and they're sealed. And I got 2 of them. So what we're going to be doing is giving you guys a little walkthrough of the system, and then we're going to jump right off into this. All right, so in the kick, we got the mini bass meter by SPL Lab. That little meter is going to measure our sound pressure level. That's basically how loud your bass is inside your cabin. and it's going to give us that reading in decibels, and that's the score that we're going to get. Right now I have it in hold mode, where it holds the peak value that you get. And in order to find our peak value, we're going to do a bass sweep. We're going to sweep this from 150 hertz down to 20 hertz. And this is going to be for 30-second duration. The amplifier we're using is a Taramp Smart 3 Bass. That's a 3,000 watt RMS subwoofer, and it has, subwoofer amplifier, and it has smart technology. It allows that amplifier to give that 3,000 watts in between 0.5 ohms, that's half an ohm, all the way up to 2 ohms. Really good technology. Okay, enough for the system. Right now what we're gonna do is get the bass sweep going. All right, so I'm gonna set this here and hit play. Wow, those things dig deep. I didn't expect that. Oh, let me get this a stop. That's 20 hertz. I really didn't expect it. I mean, I know sealed enclosures dig pretty deep, but with only 1.125 cubic net, I didn't think it would dig that deep. So, mini bass meter is telling us 125.4. Of course, that's not the metric that we want. What we want is the cabin peak. We want to know at what frequency did it peak at. So we're going to go through here and get that button to press. 46 hertz. 46 hertz. I've had sealed enclosures in here before, and they peak around at in between 45, 50, somewhere up in there is where they usually peak at, but they can dig low as well, because one perk of a sealed enclosure is to be able to have a more gradual roll off. We'll talk about that later. Meaning that it'll hit the lower frequencies, just not as loud as it would the higher frequencies, but it'll still dig. And you guys seen that for yourself. It dug all the way into the 20s. That was pretty impressive. All right, enough of that. We're gonna get our meter, we're gonna get our application set on 46 hertz, and we're gonna get back to this. All right, so to measure our output, we're gonna be using the AMM1. The AMM1 is an audio multimeter, and what it does is it has a dyno mode on it where it holds the peak value, and then it gives you the impedance at which that value is caught. They're going to measure those values in watts for power, and it's going to be ohms for impedance, or AC resistance if you're wondering what that is. All right, we got our application set to 46 hertz. Here we go. We got clipping, so I bagged off of it. We got clipping, fans came on and everything, pretty cool. All right, so we got 2,686 watts at 1.8 ohms of impedance. All right, so we clipped. I can adjust a few things to get rid of that, but let's see what we scored in the kick. Let's see what we got. All right, that's a 135.7. A 135.7 in the kick. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think these little guys would do all that, but they did. 135. Okay, let me adjust some stuff and get back to y'all. All right, I made a few adjustments. Let's see something. We're gonna try to run that again. 46 hertz. took all this thing can put out. These subs can take way more on a burp like this, but that's 2,801 watt at 1.7 ohms of impedance. All right, so 135.5 in the kick, a 135.5. Interesting. How many of y'all thought that these little boxes were gonna get that? Huh? Those little cheap boxes, how many of y'all thought it was gonna get that? I bet a lot of y'all didn't even think it was gonna get that, but there it is. Oh my goodness. Okay, enough of that. Let's roll the window down. I'm heating them up pretty good, but I know y'all always tell me to roll that window down, so I'm gonna try it again with these sealed enclosures and see if we can get anything better, right? Let's reset. Hit play. All right, here we go. One more time. 46 hertz. All right. Let's get at a stop. 2,900 watts at 1.6 ohm of impedance. Yeah, maxed it out then, just about. 136, guys. 136 with the window open. Nice. Let's let this back up because it is hot. 98 degrees with a feel like of 113. We ain't keeping that window down at all today. But anyway, 136, guys. Now let's put it on some music and see what it does. The first song is going to be called Back to California by Donnell Mace. Let's see what this sounds like. This one here is called Stadium Scam by Dylan Sitz. Donuts by Ballpoint. This one's called Love Obstacle by Blue Steel. anyway, I think they sound very, very musical. A lot of sealed enclosures, they just have that sound signature, you know what I mean? They can play a lot of other different notes. And this thing right here dig a lot deeper than I expected. I got one though, I want to see what the bass drop sound like on the other one I have. It's a lot lower tuning, so let me play that one. Let me find that one. This one right here, this one is called The Prize by Tilden Park. Now, anybody that's been on this channel, watching this channel for a while, you've heard this song before, and it digs kind of deep. So let's see how low it goes.
Got a bracelet for impact. Real trick. Flip a pretty penny to a thick stack. Quick stack. Think fast and I talk real. I give a fuck about how they feel. Me and Zay just dropped the propane and it sounded like mass appeal. For my dog, I'ma ride to the wheels kill. Got his hand on the hammer, so keep it legit. I've been in bed with the blueprint. Won't stop till I own every brick. I used to lay out in the lounge just to feel the world spin on its axis. Now I got the access and the last laugh got it off in the passion. I keep it 100 on the dash.
Man, I can't knock it, man. I can't knock these boxes for what they are. I can't knock them for real. Now, I know some of y'all are gonna be like, hey, for the price, you can just get something shipped to you, right? I can order a box, get it shipped to my house from whatever company that I like and all that. Now, that's true, very, very true. I'm not saying you can't do that. You understand? But what I'm saying is this. Like I stated previously, if you're someone who's just in a pinch, you want something, you wanna get it quick, you wanna get it done, you wanna be able to walk in the store, get something off the shelf, and be bumping within an hour. This is a nice solution for an individual like that. Think about your high school days, your middle school days, junior high days. Would this be something you would buy? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you there. Thanks for visiting the channel to help you simplify car audio. It's the Budget Basshead, and I'm out.